on TMZ.
Okay, who knew? Taylor Frankie Paul is leaving the Mormon church, which is interesting because if she stayed, she would have broken about 52 of the tenets of Mormonism.
I honestly feel like because we've been reaching out to the Mormon church for comment about all this stuff, and I wonder if they called her and they're like, girl, we gotta just separate the ties.
U.S. Senator Rick Scott at Disney amid the government shutdown. So he posts, hey TMZ, should we be in D.C.? Yes, but I don't make that decision.
It's such a cop-out. Their job is to figure out a compromise.
They did, and Mike Johnson wouldn't put it through.
If you don't like what the leadership is doing, vote the leadership out. He's the one that sent everybody home.
He sucks at his job. A lot of people who suck at their job.
Kanye West, so obviously he had his 2 sold-out shows at SoFi. So the Wireless Festival in London just announced that Kanye is gonna be the headliner. Some of the sponsors, though, clearly aren't happy because Pepsi and PayPal have already pulled out.
You don't want to say it, but this show that Kanye put on looked amazing.
The lighting actually was pretty good.
He should have done lighting with like a Star of David.
That would be kind of funny.
Olivia Dean, she deleted all of her social media apps off of her phone.
A lot of Gen Z is wanting to get off of social media more.
Schools are finally implementing no phone, no social media.
My generation, when we had cell phones, they took them all away. How did it go back to where we did allow? And honestly, same with the dress code.
When I was in student government, I waged a campaign to end the dress code.
But what were people wearing that was such a big deal?
They're showing cleavage and stuff.
Harvey wanted, like, we need a dress code now.
It's Kanye West starring in Cancel Me, huh? Well, cancel this!
No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours.
Kanye West is fully back, at least in Los Angeles.
It's amazing.
2 shows at SoFi, both sold out, raking in a reported $33 million. But will that translate worldwide?
So the Wireless Festival in London is this summer, and they just announced that Kanye is going to be the headliner all 3 nights.
They watched what happened at SoFi for 2 nights, and they're like, yes.
But a lot of sponsors were like, no. Pepsi, Budweiser, PayPal, and booze giant Diageo pulled out of the event. British PM Keir Starmer called Kanye's involvement deeply concerning.
Do you think this also shows that, like, we're more forgiving of him here in the United States than in Europe?
Or
maybe?
there's more anti-Semitism than we thought.
There is no example of a musician who's been canceled effectively.
Well, R. Kelly.
He's in jail.
No.
If he would have come out, he would perform like crazy.
But some people can separate the musician from the controversy.
Or maybe Kanye just played this right.
So this whole campaign of, I'm really sorry, putting the ad in the newspaper, it worked.
Even if he had not done that, I think it would have been the same response.
I think the difference with Kanye for a lot of people is he has mental illness. And if you think, oh, he was going through a manic episode, people can forgive that easier.
He has a mental illness and he's super anti-Semitic. I think that's what a lot of people think.
Fans who want to forgive him can rationalize it.
Yeah.
Guess we'll see what happens. Meantime, there's no denying.
The show that Kanye put on looked amazing.
It looked incredible.
No, the stage and the lighting actually was pretty good.
He should have done lighting with like a Star of David.
Yeah, or whatever that was. We'll see you out there, Kanye.
A miracle right before our eyes. Summer House exes Lindsay Hubbard and Carl are on speaking terms.
Is this soft enough for you?
This is insane. If you remember, this couple had such a messy breakup. They were engaged, they were about to get married, called off the wedding.
He called it off.
Well, they are now on speaking terms because they collabed for a little ad. It's one of those things where it's like, how much would it take for you to talk to your toxic ex again? And clearly the paycheck must have been good because this was Uber Eats.
Why did he dump her?
Well, she didn't support him a lot, and he wanted to open up a non-alcoholic bar, and she was like, that's stupid, it's never going to make it.
It is a pretty bad idea.
Well, it's open right now, soft bars.
Who is that for?
Non-alcoholics.
Non-alcoholics. I like
Non-alcoholics? What do you call them?
Non-alcoholics.
Sober people. God, there's probably some guy in there with little bottles of vodka saying $50.
Yeah,
Army with a trench coat outside.
What do you need? You need Jack Daniels? You got
Is this soft enough for you?
Congress is currently enjoying a lovely vacay while thousands of federal employees go unpaid. But Senator Rick Scott is actually hard at work at trolling us about how he's not at work.
So he posts a photograph over the weekend of himself at Disney amid the partial government shutdown.
I think he's going after us, saying what we're doing is ridiculous.
Yes, because the senator proudly wrote,
"Hey TMZ, yes, I'm at Disney with my grandkids. Should we be in DC? Yes, I don't get to make that decision."
It's such a cop-out. Yes, it's true that the leadership is the one that sent him home. What about the last 2 months where
They couldn't make a deal.
I understand, which is why they suck. That they can't make a deal. That's their job.
No, that was their job. Now their job is to hang out at Disney and Vegas and seafood stores and Aruba and their kids' basketball games and castles in Scotland and Disney again. And those are just the pics you've seen.
Over the weekend, somebody sent us a picture that they wouldn't let us use, and it was Mike Johnson at a coffee shop in Louisiana. We contacted Mike Johnson's people, and their response was this: "Can confirm. The speaker does in fact drink coffee." So they made a joke of it.
And what did you want them to say that would make you happy?
Maybe not make it a joke.
In any case, even when Congress is back, we'll still be on the scene, cause
a week from Monday, TMZ officially launches TMZ DC in DC.
Exciting!
Let's go!
Which means you'll be getting decisive and well thought out commentary on the United States Congress like the following.
They suck.
Just because he has a limited vocabulary don't mean he's wrong. Have fun at Disneyland while thousands of DHS workers can't make their rents or afford groceries, Rick Scott.
These signs are so beautiful.
Savannah Guthrie returned to Today's Show on Monday. Everybody's very excited for this. Obviously been a couple of months since her mother disappeared and the case has gone cold, unfortunately. But she has returned. No grand proclamation. All she said was,
It is good to be home.
Yes, it is good to have you back at home.
Well, here we go. Ready or not.
Yeah.
Let's do the news.
Yes.
When they go out and like say everyone, like people like were holding signs, and some of like the people had tears in their eyes when she came out.
So much kindness to me and my whole family. We feel it. We feel your prayers.
I looked at the comments, universal plaudits for her. Everybody's really excited.
Who would criticize?
One commenter did bring up a good point that people who were jockeying for that job might feel a little disappointed. That's human nature. That's human nature, guys.
Harvey, if something happens to me, we just hire someone in my place over Derek.
We'd have to, because when you're gone, he never makes the decision. He goes, I don't know.
What does that mean? You know what the decision is that I always get? Go ask Harvey.
I'm an advisor. You want me to make the decisions? Happy to do so, boss.
We would post nothing if that were the case.
But we're not going to get sued.
Feeling the love so much.
Welcome back.
Good to be back.
Great to have you.
And now, the most uncomfortable flight of all time, starring
Jessica Simpson and her ex-husband, Nick Lachey. Both with their families were on the same flight, both in first class.
Where?
They were flying on the 29th from LA to Kauai. So specific.
So specific, as every flight has to be in order for it to work.
We're told that they were supposed to sit right next to each other in first class, but Nick made eye contact with Jessica. He turned bright red, apparently.
And yes, they've been divorced for 20 years, but it didn't end well.
Nick was always really jealous and envious of her career. He was trying to make it as like his solo career and didn't.
Were his kids in first class too?
I don't know if the kids were there.
I would never fly a kid in first class.
But you can't put your kids in coach unless there's an adult back there with you.
Why?
Because kids need a parent.
No, they don't.
So you would put your kids in coach alone?
If they're 10 years old, they can sit alone.
They can, but why would you want them to? You are their parent. Sit with them.
Why?
I know this might be crazy, but you kind of like your own children.
I went to the movies alone when I was 6. I'd walk 3 blocks to the movies and go alone and then come home. My only instruction was be home by dinner.
That was really dangerous. Back then, like 1 in every 3 kids was abducted.
Which is why they always sent him to movies and made him fly alone. Unfortunately, they got lucky. Enjoy Kauai, Jessica! By the way, John Mayer's on your flight back home.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's son, Joseph, has won another bodybuilding championship. This kid is on fire. It is his second competition ever. He
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
For him to look like his dad when he's not on steroids is unbelievable. Okay, so he's got a kid who's now, he's broken in as an actor. He's got a kid who has transformed himself to this really great-looking guy who's a good guy too. He's got a guy that is in his own shadow right now. And Catherine
Who married Chris
is
Pratt.
married
Who
to
married Chris Pratt.
Wow, so her biggest accomplishment is who she married?
Yeah, you did well.
She's a New York Times best-selling author.
And she's a best-selling author.
Coming up.
Dakota Johnson and role model, the singer, they are still hot and heavy.
I had a party at my house, a bunch of Gen Zers over the weekend. They are angry. They love Role Model.
Why exactly are you throwing a party with Gen Zers?
I have 2 Gen Zer kids.
He's like, gather around, girls, let's talk.
He's like, I got pizza rolls. What are we talking about?
TMZ, online and on your phone 24/7. Coming up.
Britney Spears had a very happy Easter. She was at a dinner with her manager, Cade, Diane Warren, and Molly Shannon.
What?
Wow. Yeah, very odd.
What a
Be right back.
Taylor Frankie Paul is no longer a wife. Her life certainly isn't a secret, and now...
She's leaving the church.
Yes, it's The Lives Of, starring Taylor Frankie Paul. On Sunday, TFP posted on IG that she's leaving LDS.
She said she was born and raised Mormon, LDS, and I've always had love and respect towards it. I'll even continue to go with my family at times. With that being said, it's time to detach myself from it.
And the Mormon church was like, no, don't go. You're so good for our image. But Taylor insists she has not lost her faith.
I strongly believe in Christ, God, the Bible, the divine. Point being, there is no more out there to learn, and I'm writing this as a release.
There's no more out there to learn?
Point being, there is more out there to learn.
Oh.
Speaking of learning, how about reading?
She hasn't been like practicing it forever, so dumb announcement.
Maybe it wasn't really coming from her end.
I honestly feel like because we've been reaching out to the Mormon church for comment about all this stuff, and I wonder if they called her and they're like, girl, we gotta just separate the ties.
We were knocking on their doors in the middle of dinner. Kidding! Don't think we had much to do with it.
They could look at the body cam.
You don't kick someone out for that.
Do they excommunicate everyone?
They do, but if you reject God, not if you like make a mistake. She threw some chairs.
I don't think he understands religion.
I was bar mitzvahed, okay?
Congratulations at 13.
14.
You didn't become a man at 13? What happened?
I got held back in Hebrew school.
Oh, was it because of your height?
You must be this tall to be a man.
I was kind of a juvenile delinquent. I broke some windows at...
We don't care. Thanks, Taylor, for letting us know you're no longer part of a religion you were kind of already no longer a part of.
We're gonna have a blast tonight, y'all.
We had the Age of Attraction cast take over TMZ After Dark. We had breakout stars Jorge, Leah, and Chris.
Age of Attraction!
So we started with Jameson's Pub on Hollywood. Then we went to the Saddle Ranch and we ended up Beaches WeHo. And at the Saddle Ranch, we ran into a familiar face, Victoria Justice.
Oh, cool!
She had never watched the show. When they're on the show, the contestants don't know how old each other are. So I was like, Victoria, can you guess how old each of these cast members are? So she guessed Leah. Harvey, how old do you think she is?
Liz 42.
And clearly, you guys, I know I'm 40 plus 1.
Oh, God. Wow. Now, this is Jorge. How old do you think Jorge is?
I don't know. He looks 30 to me.
So Victoria guessed 37.
Jorge, how old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
I'm 60.
Ah! Wait, where's Chris?
Oh my God!
He's 60 years old. There's one final one. I asked ChatGPT how old they think that this person is.
Oh.
What'd they say?
I'd estimate he's in his mid to late 50s, roughly around 55 to 60 years old.
You were going for 45.
Yeah.
And now it's Dakota Johnson and role model in Parking Lot Passion. You got some lipstick on you there, RM. Thanks, Dakota. Yes, there they are, getting hot and heavy. And do you know who couldn't be happier that Dakota's getting laid by this guy? Her mom!
Melanie Griffith, her mom, was asked what she thinks about him.
What do you think of him?
I think he's fabulous.
Yeah, he sure is a great role model for dudes who want to date older chicks.
How old is she?
She's 36.
And how old's role model?
He's 28. That's nothing.
Not to Gen Zers, apparently.
I had a party at my house with a bunch of Gen Zers over the weekend. They are angry. They love role model. They think she needs to get out. She's corrupting this young man.
First off, we don't want to know why you had a party with Gen Zers at your house. Secondly, Dakota is a total score for role model.
She's so hot, man. She's so sexy.
He's an up-and-coming star.
So what?
Gen Z loves this guy, and they don't want him dating out of.
They don't want him dating anybody.
As for Dakota, it's pretty clear she has a thing for musicians.
It's just such a different person than Chris Martin.
Chris Martin's white bread and this guy's Reggie.
Yeah. Chris Martin's Brentwood. This guy's Los Feliz.
The Thomas Guide would be proud. Now make out us out of here, Roll Coda!
Britney Spears had a very happy Easter, surrounded by loved ones. She was at a dinner with her manager, Cade, Diane Warren, and Molly Shannon.
Wow.
Yeah, very odd.
What a girl.
We did not see her with her sons at all during the holiday. Just this photo that Diane posted of them holding up their middle finger on Easter.
Wait, Eric, you know we can't share that on the show.
Huh?
We can't show the middle finger.
Oh.
So wait a minute. How can we not show that when the president's talking about?
Yeah, it's not my decision. That's your decision.
It's remarkable, the hypocrisy.
And he put the apostrophe like he's cool.
I don't know what the middle finger is. Maybe.
You know what? What a move for Britney if Diane Warren would write her a song.
Dude, she could lose an Oscar, yeah. Yeah, it'd be monster.
Well, the Britney movie is in the works. She could be writing a song for the movie.
That would be awesome.
But what is Molly Shannon doing?
Maybe she's playing Britney.
Oh, Superstar Part 2.
Or she plays like, I'm 40.
Coming up.
Timothée Chalamet, he had his electric car towed.
Why do people enjoy this?
What?
People love when rich people have car trouble.
People are kind of starting to turn on him a little bit.
They are.
What are you talking about?
They think he's really unlikable.
Timothée Chalamet, he had his Lucid Air electric car towed from his home in Beverly Hills.
I don't know what that is.
Very expensive electric car.
Why do people enjoy this?
What?
People, even though people like Timothée Chalamet, they love when rich people have car trouble.
Timmy can't catch a break these days.
What are you talking about?
He lost the Oscar.
Okay, but he lost the Oscar.
He got canceled because of the ballet.
He's got Kylie Jenner. He's one of the biggest movie stars in the world.
People are kind of starting to turn on him a little bit.
They are.
Is that so?
They think he's really unlikable.
Oh, is it because of the ballet thing?
Well, not just because when you see Marty Supreme is so unlikable, and you think that's Timothée Chalamet.
I love Marty Supreme.
No, he was obnoxious.
You like the guy as a person?
He was manic, but it was.
He was a terrible human being.
He was very unlikable.
I always thought it was an inspirational story. It's like, wow, look
He really reminds me of somebody.
You're like, that guy's got gumption.
Coming up.
Olivia Dean. She sings the song Man I Need, one of the biggest hits in the world. She deleted all of her social media apps off of her phone. She goes, I don't think you're supposed to know everyone's opinion about you, and I've decided I want to live in sweet ignorance. Olivia Dean. She sings the song Man I Need, one of the biggest hits in the world, top 10 in 36 countries. She won the Best New Artist Grammy this year, and she celebrated by doing the best thing for herself in her career. She deleted all of her social media apps off of her phone. She goes, I've been thinking about doing it for a while, even though the love has been overwhelming. Even that is not healthy sometimes. I don't think you're supposed to know everyone's opinion about you, and I've decided I want to live in sweet ignorance.
It's also true. If you get highs from people saying good things, you'll get destroyed eventually.
Schools are finally implementing no phone, no social media while on campus.
My generation, when we had cell phones, they took them all away in class. How did it go back to where we did allow? And honestly, same with the dress code. There was a strict dress code in high school. Now everybody at the Palisades, they all can show their midriff.
When I was in student government, I waged a campaign to end the dress code.
Well, what were people wearing that was such a big deal that they're...
You know, they're showing cleavage and stuff.
Harvey wanted like, we need a dress code now.